Hey everyone, have I here bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be going over the EZAs for the Future Saga Transformation Trunks and Transformation Zamasu, along with the Mai and Gowasu Zamasu. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So yeah, last night, early in the morning, when I was fast asleep, they ended up dropping the EZA information on the JP version of the game, but even though it's a worldwide celebration, they didn't do it on the global side. Global ended up getting top grossing, so they had some other news to post. So we needed some translations, so shout out to the homie Goresh for providing translations that we're going to be using in this video here, along with shout outs to Proton. Proton did this nice little sheet here talking about the stats and the increase on the stats. So this is where I want to start first, because the top main two units, not Mai and Gowasu and Zamasu here, their stats are very LR-ish, right? 21,000 for HP, 22,000 for HP on Zamasu and Trunks here, and those are higher than the currently new Worldwide Celebration LRs, right, with Vegeta Blue and Infinite Zamasu. So that alone is already good. These two are already over 20,000. I think Goku and Vegeta Blue is like 19,000, and yes, I think Infinite Zamasu is 21. So they're in that range. And then defense a little bit lower than the two LRs that are out right now, but still very good at over 14,000 for Trunks and almost 14,000 for Zamasu. When you look at these other with Mai and Zamasu Gowasu, they're okay. So, but these are more like just traditional Dokkan Fest numbers here, but these are LR numbers, which makes it important because now when you boost these units here, even though they're not LRs, they are going to be extremely strong. So let's move into the stats here again. Shout outs to Goresh for providing the translations, but of course we're going to make this a lot bigger. So let's go ahead and make this a lot bigger here. And so the general idea right here, it transforms, and then you're going to have an opportunity to do a active skill final transformation if you want to. So let's go ahead and look at the base form Trunks and see what they ended up doing here. The leader skills, as we know, they ended up just boosting this to 170% across the board. Before they had defense at 130, and then from 120 on the super class here to 130. Would have been nice to see another, boost up to 150. That would have been interesting there, but still very good, especially if you don't have the new Vegeta Blue, right? You can use this as a substitution leader at 170. Now the super attacks here, or super attack, not LR, it greatly raises raises attack. That's a 30% increase, and that stacks, and then greatly raises defense for 3 turns. I'm not sure why they ended up doing this. The only thing I can imagine is a lot of other Trunks has like a defensive raise for a particular amount of turns, not stacking. For example, like LR Trunks, physical Trunks, and then like Super Dragon Ball Hero, Super Saiyan 3 Trunks has like for multiple turns. So it would have been nice if we would have gotten a stack, like raises attack and defense stacking, because it's going to automatically transform in the 3rd turn. So this right here, it's not really overly beneficial. But anyway, the passive skill here, it raised from 100% to 140%, so a decent boost, not overly OP, and that's all they had, right? So this is the only thing that Trunks had before, was just that, and then transforms. So it went from 140, and then all this other stuff is additional, right? So super class allies key +2, which is nice, little key boost there. Perform an additional attack and has a high chance of becoming a super attack, so that could stack a little bit, right? But it doesn't stay, right? It only stacks for the time being. Chance to perform a critical hit 30% during the turn when attacking. That's still very strong, and then transforms when conditions are met. So nice little boost. It would have been nice to see like a guard mechanic or a higher defensive boost in the beginning, because he's fairly squishy here in the first starting of Trunks, the base form here. So when you transform into Super Saiyan Trunks, and that starts on the 3rd turn, and that's automatic, you don't have a choice, automatically transforms into the Super Saiyan Trunks. And what happens here is that the super attack becomes extremely better. They could have just said raises attack and defense on this one. It would have been nice to stack up a little bit, but right here, this is huge. So you want to probably stay in this in this form for quite some time. So they increased this from raises attack and defense, which is a 20% boost, to greatly raises attack and defense, which is a 50% boost, and that continues to stack and stack and stack. So now you want to do as many additional attacks as possible, additional super attacks, so we can build up the defense and also the offense as well. So this increased from 140 to 150 after transformation. The superclass allies key plus 2 stays there, but you get an additional key plus 1 and additional attack and defense 25% at the start of each turn up to 100%. So after 4 turns, you're going to be boosted up to additional 100%, which is again strong, along with the stack here. Performs an additional attack, has a great chance of becoming a super attack. Great chance, 70% chance. So again, boosting like crazy. And performs an additional attack, has a high chance of becoming a super attack once 4 turns have elapsed from the first appearance. So that does, let's see, so they perform an additional attack, is great chance of super attack. So another attack there, okay. And then chance to perform a critical hit 30% while attacking turn. So again, this right here is incredibly strong, right? Because if you can get an additional attack, has a great chance of becoming a super attack, that right there is huge, right? 70% chance, so you're probably going to get that off. That's going to boost another 50% to defense and attack on the SA multiplier. And again, it's immense damage, Extreme Z Awaken immense damage, which is the highest multiplier in the game. And then also right here, perform an additional attack and has a high chance, 50% chance, once 4 turns have elapsed from the first appearance. Is like, okay, a little bit later it can stack more and more and more. So anyway, super strong here. And then if you want to activate the active skill, then you say, okay, I'm gonna dive into this. This is a nuking mechanic. So what happens here is once you transform into Super Saiyan Trunks with the Spirit Sword, we'll go ahead and change over here. Once you do this, then your super attack doesn't stack anymore, right? It massively raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy, and massively lowers defense. And then your ability is attack 40 and 20 to defense per key sphere obtained, perform critical hits. So that's straight up. So that's increased from effective against all types, now critical hit. And then superclass allies key plus 3 with an additional 50% when collecting 4 more key spheres, which is no problem because you randomly change key spheres of a certain type to, except for tech, into tech key spheres. So you already have like an automatic nuking mechanic in here, and you have the opportunity then to, of course, one shot or try to kill somebody at the end. I think you have to have a pretty full board to do the amount of damage you want. But remember, you are already stacking in the Super Saiyan Trunks formation here, so this continues to increase, and then we're like, okay, I'm ready to do that last shot there. Let's go ahead and do it. Boom. And then you have that mastery raises attack, which is another 100%. So I think right here they did an incredible job right here, the Super Saiyan Trunks. I think they could have added something to help out on the defense in the base form here that would have made it tolerable for those first 3 turns, like guard for the first 3 turns, right? Because when we look at this Zamasu, he's going to be strong all the way across the board. It's just he's just really weak. Trunks is really weak in the first position here, and I wish they would have done something different to help out. So that's the Trunks. And again, this form not so good. Super Saiyan form pretty amazing, and then the final form here. Up to you if you want to use it, right? So which I like that option. Don't have to transform, and automatic transform. Now let's look at the Zamasu, which this is the unit that we needed for the Infinite Zamasu team. I was hoping that this would be good enough to run on main rotations, and it seems like that is going to be the case. So let's go ahead and start with the leader skills. Realm of Gods 170%, Extreme Class 130%, so just very similar or exactly the same as the Trunks. Is just Realm of Gods, and Extreme Classes are a little bit different there. Super Attack raises defense. So here's again different from the Trunks. This raises defense. This stacks in the beginning portion, and it's nice. It's nice that you can get some benefit from doing those super attacks. And again, you are going to automatically Patara fuse after the 3rd turn. but still, just nice to have that solidified there versus only being there for only 3 turns like Trunks is. And then you have causes immense damage to enemy and great lowers defense. Then you have the passive skill here goes attack and defense 140. Before they didn't have any defense, so it was only a 40% boost on Trunks on the base form. This is 140 to defense because the damage reduction by 40%, that's already there, and they just kept it there. So additional 140% and 40% damage reduction is incredibly strong. Along with extreme class allies key +2, recovers HP at the start of the turn and then recovers 20% at the end of the turn. Right here does provide some issues and problematics to Infinite Zamasu, being that if you want to be changing into Infinite Zamasu if you want to, then you really don't have to. But if you do, you're going to have issues with that 70% after 5 turns, right? So more or less, if you're going to be running this unit here, you're probably just going to be using Infinite Zamasu after the 7 turns. So anyway, just kind of keep that in mind with the HP. But ultimately, if you weren't worried about that, this is an incredible kit because it's going to keep you alive and keep you very strong, especially with the damage reduction here, right? So so much better and more useful, and can be tanking in the first position right off the bat. But generally, Infinite Zamasu in the first turn, you have 80% damage reduction, so might as well use them in the first turn. So you probably want to have Infinite Zamasu first, and then when you transform into Fusion Zamasu, that's when you want to actually switch it up and put it into first position because of the reduction of the damage mitigation on Infinite Zamasu. Then you want to bring this unit over to the first position because much like Trunks, we're going to be stacking again. So stacking ability here, but there's also another huge benefit in the passive here. So the super attack here at Fusion Zamasu is raises attack and defense, which is only a 20% boost. So Trunks is a 50% boost, which is a lot stronger, but this is a 20% boost. So the passive here, key +2, 150%. So same thing, just goes from 140 to 150, just like Trunks. Extreme class eyes, key +2, reduction of damage increases to 50%. So really strong there, right? So they increase, this was 40 before, increased to 50. Gains an additional attack 50% when performing a super attack. So that's pretty much automatic. And then performs an additional super attack when there is during a turn where this character receives an attack. So how it's worded, I'm not sure if it's receive the attack or has to be received the attack. So the Infinite Zamasu has this thing where it's like, when he's targeted, you're going to get the benefit here, performing an additional super attack. I'm not sure if that's the case. Either way, if you need to make sure that you get an attack to perform the additional super attack, you want to put this in first position so it gets the additional super attack so it can stack more, right? This is a guaranteed super attack here. So make sure, we got to make sure if this is first position, have to get the attack first and then guarantees additional super attack, which seemingly that's what it seems like, or it's the targeted version, which is going to be automatic, which I don't think that's the case. So anyway, I would move this to first position, gain that additional there, and then have the hidden potential, do another one, and then boom, this first transformation is super strong on both Trunks and Zamasu here. And then continues on to recover HP when HP is 90% or less, and then recovers 10% HP at the end of every turn, and then this character receives 5 or more hits during the battle. So right here, this right here isn't a big problem because after 3 turns you're healing yourself, but then right here you're not really healing too much, except for the 10% at 90%. So, and then recovers another 10% at the end of each turn every time this character receives 5 or more hits during the battle. So again, if you're putting in first position, you might actually do that. Anyway, so again, just like the Trunks, you will have this active skill. And it's funny that Goresh posted this Fusion Zamasu post transformation because he has the same name, but technically it really should be corrupted, right? So that's what we're trying to change in the community. But now we have corrupted or mutated, however you want to call it there. And right here, again, this is more of a nuking, not nuking mechanic, but final attack, and massively raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy, and massively lowers defense. And then instead of like I said, nuking or you're gathering orbs to make the final hit, you already kind of have that hermetic. So key +6, 300%, ridiculous there. Defense drops tremendously down. Also, your damage reduction drops tremendously down. So defense just whittles down. So just make sure that this is like that final attack you're looking for. Gains an additional 50% and high chance performing a critical hit when performing super attack, and then perform an additional super attack every time a character performs 2 or more attacks in the battle. Up to 1 turn, which you're going to be generally doing right away, and then gains an additional defense 50% when performing a super attack for 3 turns from the first appearance, which is nice. It gives you, because this drops down, so this goes back to 150, but then drops down there. Disables guard, which is huge, and then superclass allies and enemies. Remember, this is an issue here when you're a corrupted Zamasu. You debuff your own allies if you have super allies on your team, which generally you shouldn't be running with this particular unit here. So anyway, and then again, this is an optional transformation. It's active skill, so up to you if you want to go there. But you can just continue to stack up, and get stronger and stronger and stronger, like you would do with the Trunks. So ultimately, I think this is a much better designed unit. A huge buff here, especially in the first position, 140% to defense, right, versus only 40% to defense with Trunks. Makes this unit so much stronger. I think the second position, I think this transformation here, I think the Trunks is better because of his greatly raises attack and defense. I shouldn't say it's better because Zamasu has the 50% damage mitigation. So his super attack, Trunks is better, and this one's only going to really have the attack and defense at 20% versus the 50%. But yes, the damage reduction, I shouldn't say it's better. Trunks is better. Yeah, Zamasu is overall better. I'll just say that. So this is what we needed. It's what we needed for that Infinite Zamasu team. This is going to be very, very good. Very happy that it is worthy of a main rotation. So let's go ahead and end the rest of this with Gowasu Zamasu. So Gowasu Zamasu is a leader skill Realm of Gods category key +3, 130% across the board. The super attack greatly raises attack defense 1 turn, which is an addition, and then causes supreme damage to enemy, which isn't very strong, and then seals the super attack. And then the passive here, all allies key +3, so it's an increase from 2 to 3, and then 70%, which was before. Grant all allies an additional key +1 and 30% if all allies attacking the same turn on Realm of Gods. If you're going to be running this with an Infinite Zamasu team, most likely it's going to be all Realm of Gods. So having the additional 30% to attack is really nice, but really you're using this for that 70% boost, which is huge. A high chance of evading enemies attack, including super attack, so that's already there. I wish they would have boosted the great chance. That would have made this unit so much better. But hey, you can't have everything. 50% is fine. And then key +5, attack 140% and defense 70% when attacking extreme class enemies. I hate having that scenario. But you are really going to be fighting mostly extreme class enemies in red zone, so at least that's beneficial there. And then attack is 70% and 140% defense when attacking super class enemies. Again, a restriction. You're not going to be fighting many super class enemies in red zone, but you're going to get more defense by doing so, and then gain an additional attack and defense 70% when performing a super attack. So ultimately, it's a good support unit. Not overly great. It would have been really good if it was a great chance of evading enemy attack. But again, the 50% should be fine. And the 70% defensive boost is worth it running as a support. So finally is the Int Mai. So leader skill, time travelers, key +3, HP and attack defense 130%. And then Int also is key +3, attack and defense 90%. And then you have the EZA, which is raises defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to enemy with a high chance of stunning the enemy, which is good for Super Battle Road and things of that nature. Passive skill is 120% to defense, which is a huge boost from nothing, right? So before I had absolutely nothing, and then 80% when attacking. Time travelers category allies key +2 attack and defense 40%, so that didn't change. And if those allies are all super class, they get an additional key +1 attack and defense 10%. So 50% boost, boys and girls, 50% boost. So up to you if you want to run the STR Mai, which I think is stronger as a unit, but as a support unit, if you're running all time travelers, then Int Mai is going to be incredibly strong here. You do have a high chance of stunning enemy, attacked enemy, which is good, and then great chance. Here's a really nice benefit here. Great chance of evade enemy's attack from an enemy hit by this character. Super attack, which generally you're going to be running this as a floater, so normally you will hit this unless that character dodges, and then you're pretty much screwed. So with a great chance, then now you're just using the hidden potential to get the additional dodge, but then within the same turn. And then if there's a future saga category enemy, gain an additional 80% defense, and then HP, if HP is 70% below, reveal the location of the enemy super attack, which is very strong. But only this, how I'm reading this is only if there's a future saga category enemy, which that kind of sucks. So if that was separately, if it was just if HP was below 70%, reveal the super attack, that would have been nice. But it seems like that's a ongoing sentence that starts with if there's a future saga category enemy. So anyway, overall, I think still a great support unit, 50% for time travelers, so that's always huge. And of course the stats increases and things of that nature. So I think Gowasu, they're both okay. They're not like, you know, the best of the best kind of scenario. You can evade, which is nice here, but again, if you don't hit the enemy, they should have just left it as great chance to evade. It would have been just a lot easier to think about and understand, because you'll be like, hey, how did I not evade and die? So but that's pretty much about it, boys and girls. Tell me what you guys think about the new EZAs. We are still crossing our fingers to get the information on the Int Goku Black. Hopefully that got EZAs as well in part 2, and then also maybe a possibility of Rose, the LR Int Rose EZAing along with that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.